Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome to This is Marketing. I am Jaljeet Ajani. I believe in one thing, which is I do nothing, I do everything. Okay. I have been a content creator for I think almost 15 years or something now. My background has been in animation and visual effects. That's my core. I'm a graduate in literature, and I have started Singularity, which is my digital agency, along with my co-founder Amjad Desai, who hails from Dubai. So over these last 3.5 years, we have gone through a lot of campaigns. We have helped work with a lot of clients. We have worked with a lot of different people. I have understood few things which I think I can really add value to people, and that's where we are. So let's start with the topic: advertising. Create ads that drive ROI. Advertising is the promotion of a product, brand, or service to an audience in order to attract interest, engagement, and sales. I would just like to bring attention to one part, which is product, brand, or service. These are three different kind of things which we want to, sell. Okay. The second part to this whole thing is the audience. That is of very important. You can say that is of high importance because you need to understand who are you promoting it to. Normally what happens in marketing or in business, people feel when they are creating a product, the product is for everyone. Okay. And if you ask, like, let's say for example, a product like or a service like digital marketing, you would say everyone needs digital marketing. But that's a kind of a misnomer because everyone needs digital marketing. Okay, fair. But only few are going to afford it. Only few might be able to buy it. Only few might be able to apply it, right? Because there are different cases in and around this. So we need to understand ki if you are ever thinking about one part, which is your product, brand, or service appeals to everyone, do not advertise because you really need to first, hone in on your audience. You need to hone in on your user persona. You need to define a buyer persona, and then that is when you can actually start promoting your product to that only niche segment of people. Now, why this is required is if you see what Hetal has mentioned, she has mentioned ki letting people know that a product exists for their need. So there is a group of people for whom your product might appeal. Your product is not going to appeal to everyone. Maybe other people might say and they might appreciate your product, but the buyers of that product will be limited. And your intention should be, in terms of advertising, to reach to those interested people. Okay, because understand one thing, and this is the bottom line of, you can say, advertising or business, and that is people do not like to be sold to. Okay, people do not like to be sold to, but people like to buy. Basically, it's not your selling which should make the sale, but the person should want to buy this from you. Okay, so this particular idea, if you have it right in your mind, you can use advertising to reach out to those people. Okay, Subrat has also added an ideal customer avatar, which is nothing else but the same thing as a user persona. Okay, I think 2 or 3 weeks back, I had done a session on creating customer personas. So you guys can actually look at that session on singularity.in/webinars, and you'll find that particular recording. And that's a very interesting session if you are confused about, how do I create a user persona. Yes, Vartika, it means targeting an audience, but even targeting would be, let's say, for example, I'll give you a very simple example. Um, Today on social media, everyone is, communicating about, they are putting up pictures, and everyone is, trying to be a sort of a photographer. So in between, if you saw, the DSLR sales had gone up because everyone started, getting a medium to publish their photographs. Now imagine if Canon comes out and says ki everyone is going to buy my camera, so let me just, advertise it to everyone. But the fact is, who was buying it? It was if you see the demographic data, it would be a target audience between the age of 18 to 34. Okay. So it's not, again, the age is also a matter. Now, 18 to 34 is a wide spectrum. Now, 18 to 34, if you look at it, tell me, you can answer this. Okay. The question is simple. In the age of 18 to 24, if there are people who want to buy versus the age of 24 to 35, people are there who want to buy a camera worth 1,50,000. Who should I be targeting? Should I be targeting 18 to 24 or 24 to 35? Vartika says 24 to 35. Can you guys give me your reasoning? Why do you guys say 24 to 35? Subrat got it right. They have the ability to pay. Vartika also got it right. They have income. Okay. They have purchasing power. They are part of the decision makers. Imagine a person or a teenager who is just 18. He is looking for support from his mom and dad. So you have to, obviously, they can also be the buyer. You can also advertise to them. But the ad which you will be running for an 18-year-old versus you will be running for a 24 or 35-year-old will be very different. So this is where the whole, targeting comes into play. So for this, I would say define your user persona, and that will really help. Vartika says she's an example of this question. Wow. Few interesting things. How I look at things, right? I always try to understand. Okay, Vartika is 20 years old, and that's why she's saying she fits that bracket. Now, few things which are interesting, which I really like or I think about, is how has language developed. And one of the things which I went to look at is the term advertising basically came in from the term advert. Okay. Now, when we think of advert, and I see all the things in terms of, let's say, where did this word origin from? The word advert actually is part of two words. Okay, it's a combination of two words, which is ad and word, from the Latin language. Now, what it literally translates to, when you see what is ad and what is word means to turn, ad means towards. So think about it. Where do you use ad? You use ad to say advance. So everything in the forward movement is ad. Okay, advantage. It's again a positive thing, right? So say for example, when you look at advert, it's saying towards to turn. Now, Latin was spoken in a very different way, so that's why you will not understand it like this. How you would understand it is to turn towards. That makes sense, and that's how it should be. So, advert literally means to turn towards. Now, what does that mean? In a way, is to turn towards something. To make someone turn towards something is what advertising is all about. Okay. Similarly, just for fun's sake, when you say revert is basically go back and to turn. Okay. When you say invert, it is basically to turn it into, like to turn it upside down in a way. Subvert would be from below. So sub is a word which is used in submarine and all these things. Now, why I'm saying this? Because this literally is the definition of advertising. It's to turn towards a brand, product, or service. Okay. So advert is nothing else but you help someone to turn towards your brand, product, or service. That is it. And that's our aim. So how I would look at it is bring attention to your brand, product, or service. Now, this, when we talk about attention, we need to actually think about where does attention exist? In today's world, where do you guys think attention exists? Any ideas? Social media, right? Where else? So social media is a good example wherein a lot of attention exists but might not be all your customers. Okay, you might be in a very different kind of a, you can say, product or brand or service which the customer does not exist on social media. There are brands like that, but typically speaking, on a high level, attention exists in all these areas. That is newspapers, social media, magazines, websites, app, email. OH is basically outdoor advertising. Okay. Obviously, now why I have included this is for understanding that advertising is not just limited to social media. Okay. Today, most of the times when we are in marketing and all these things or digital marketing, we feel that only social media is the way to reach the customer. But that is not the truth. Okay. You need to focus on a more omni-channel kind of a strategy. And what that means is you need to even respect other formats and see if you can get attention from there. It might be your first traction, but still. Subrat says advertising is using all the available platforms. Correct. Correct. So think of it like this. If you look at Google, Google is a digital company, but they also participate in a lot of offline advertising. Okay, they do a lot of advertising on hoardings. And typically, when they release a new feature or something, they release their hoardings. Now, why would Google do that? The idea is so advertising or any all these things, it works on a very simple law, which is law of averages. What it says is if someone sees your ad, okay, or your brand at some point, so if they see it multiple times, that is around 4 to 5 times, and they don't need to pay attention to it, but they might just look at the color, they might just see it subconsciously, or they might just, vaguely recognize it. Even if that happens 4 to 5 times, there is some remembrance of the brand in their mind. Okay, so this is the well established fact. Now, what happens is when you bombard someone with ads in that way, and it's playing your subconscious thing, okay, it's becoming part of their awareness, then slowly familiarity sets in. When familiarity sets in, and when you throw in an offer or when you throw in another ad which they actually notice, maybe it might be a YouTube pre-roll ad wherein you are offering them a discount or something, high chances, if they have some amount of familiarity, they might click or they might at least watch it. Once they have seen it, then they will go ahead and they will maybe purchase that product at some later point of time. We need to understand that today the kind of channels and mediums which a person is exposed to, okay, a person goes through their entire day. The moment you wake up, you might go onto Instagram. As soon as you go onto Instagram, what happens is you start scrolling, and when you start scrolling, you are already seeing ads. You are already seeing some amount of, even if you go to stories, the format basically is there are 3 to 4 stories which you will see of your followers or who you are following, and one story you might see which will be a sponsored post. So every time you see 4 stories or 3 stories, depending on your Instagram surfing habit, it has been programmed that after 3 stories you will see one ad. And if you notice during festive season or something, you will see it maybe those story ke baad ek ad aa raha hai. Okay. Similarly, as you scroll down your feed on Instagram, you might see after 3 to 4 posts, you will see a sponsored post. And there is a pattern to it which has been developed. So, in this sense, we are always being bombarded by ads. An average person might be looking at more than 10,000 plus brands in a day. Okay. Not them actually consciously looking at it, but they are being bombarded by it. Right. So that's why branding plays such an important role. Brand colors, fonts, typography, these all things are so important because it plays on your subliminal or subconscious mind. Right. Going further, so India, they are doing programmatic buying of, even offline ads. But in US, what you can do is you can be sitting at home, okay, and you can actually buy a banner or a hoarding at, let's say, some central park, or maybe a park, you can say downtown somewhere. You can just buy a hoarding, physical hoarding there, and just publish your ad. So this is, it has gone to that extent in US. In India also, this is very soon going to come. I know people who are working on these things. So advertising, even the offline, will be bought online. Right now, you can do it for newspaper ads, but for hoardings, I think we are still a little behind on that. But very soon, it might be coming in. Now, so what exactly is advertising? Advertising is nothing else, but it is cocaine. Okay. What I mean by this is, imagine if you guys know anything about, little bit about drugs. What happens is a drug peddler would come to you, and drug peddler would give you free, you can say, small amounts of dosage. Okay, it's like a sample. And when you get these free samples over a period of time, you start enjoying it, and then you get addicted to it. Similar is the format of advertising. Okay, not trying to build any negative framework in your head, but still, just I think this is so relevant in today's time. If you are serving small pursuit or small, inflections of happiness or small inflections of surprise through your ads, people get addicted to it. People want to see more of it. And when they see more of it, they want to see more of your brand. So what they do, they go to your brand page, they go to your app, or website or whatever, and they become part of the whole communication. That's why campaigns and all these things work. you know all of these things are very addictive in nature. Like, say for example, if we were in a rally and we would just be maybe shouting at the top of our voice, and if someone would just go in a particular format, I can make you say certain things, and you would say it automatically. Like, say for example, think of it, one of the first ways in which we were programmed to do this was in school. Okay, in school, whenever teacher comes in, we we say, a good morning teacher, it is such a wonderful day, or do we say, good morning teacher, right? Is it A or B? What is the tone of uh, saying good morning in school? We are all used to that tone, right? It's got a certain lazy ring to it. The teacher knows we are just doing it out of this, but and we also enjoy. It's like it's like a civil war which is happening. We do not have any rights, but the way to actually show our power or our unity, we all say good morning in the same lame fashion. That's not how you say good morning, but to a teacher, you do say it like that. So it's funny how we are being programmed, and that is the first instance of a jingle which we all somewhere caught on to. Why do people invest so much in music? Why do people invest so much to develop the right lyrics, or for their products? Now, the lamest lyric which we would say would have been the Dettol campaign few years back, which was just saying Dettol, 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 Dettol. But the brand name just got stuck in your head. It was crazy, but I don't know, for better or worse, it worked. Okay, I just hope not all brands follow that. So what these guys are doing is, there is, in ads, there is one thing which is similar to drugs, which is repetition. Okay, once you are part of, it's like a cult. Once you're part of it, you are going to repeatedly be bombarded by it. So what they do is, in today's digital age, they try to get your attention in various formats. They would come on your social feed. If you have clicked on their on an ad, and you have gone to their website, then they would chase you everywhere around Google, social media, your email, and you will just keep on seeing their ads. Now, as this is happening, what happens is in your brain, repetition is equated with structure to the human mind. Okay. So if something has been repeated 10 times, it means it is good. So I'll give you a very relatable example to this. We have all seen McDonald's ka ads. We have all seen McDonald's ka, even when you're standing in the queue at McDonald's, you see the image in front of you, which is an ad. Okay, when you're placing the order. That image is the epitome of false advertising. The burger does not look like that. You hope the burger looks like that, but at the end of the day, when you are standing in that queue, you know you are not going to get that, but you still pay this value which is next to it. Now, this is how they have captured your mind. There is obviously they would have written there, hey, this is just for photographic, purpose, and it's not the actual product and all those things. But it's just like actually false advertising is what is what I would think of it. But anyways, the point over here is if someone repeats something, we buy it. Think of Ab Ki Baar Modi Sarkar, right? Earlier, that was the first slogan, Ab Ki Baar Modi Sarkar. This time, it was Fir Ek Baar Modi Sarkar. The slogan has a ring to it. It was repeated in amazing ways, and we bought it. So, moving on, how do we create ad cocaine? Okay, so ad cocaine is nothing else but a short term successful hype. It is simple. First thing, you need to get attention. Obviously, because you're on social media, there are so many people, you have so many friends, they are posting continuously. You are looking at other people's life and you are looking at other influencers, so on and so forth. So, a brand, first of all, needs to take that space of attention. Okay. Now, when you get their attention, what you need to do is you need to give them an offer. Shashank has given a nice thing. Kya chal raha hai, Fox chal raha hai. Yeah, cool. So when you get their attention, you need to give an offer and make it too good to pass up. Okay. For that offer, you need to also give in some supporting evidence so that it makes the doubters believe. And there has to be an urgency. There has got to be a time limit. And the last part is frequency, which I said is repetition. Now, all of these things are nothing else but this is a funnel. Okay. The funnel is attention, consideration, and decision. Okay. If you were to just search online for ad funnel, you would go. I love Google Images. And if you go to Google Images, and you can just go to this, or else just this simple graphic. This is the purchase funnel. It shows awareness as the widest, okay, interest as the second one, desire and action. So what you do with your ad is when you grab attention, you get people over here. These are your attention or awareness ads. Okay. The next ads are to spike interest. जिन लोगों को aware किया उसमें interested कितने लोग हैं. So as you see, at every stage there is a drop off, so your funnel keeps on reducing. Okay, जिनको interest है वो कम हुए awareness से, but the desire part might be ignited in lesser than the ones who are interested. Because some of them might be like, wait, I don't want this right now. I might come for this later or something. And out of the people who are desiring for your brand, you throw in an offer or you throw in something which makes them feel like, I want this. And that particular thing, I want this, is to be, you can say, given along with some amount of limited time so that it creates urgency. Okay, I'll just make one change in the presentation. Yeah. So to make it simple for you guys, awareness is created for a person who doesn't know you. So you need to get their attention, right? Interest is people know you, but what is it specifically that you can help them with? So maybe, show them few things. Then out of those few things, they might go in for a very focused product or service. And this is where you start throwing in some amount of remarketing. Okay, because now. So it's like this key. Now, I'll explain this in detail in some time, but just let's go with this. And action is finally, this is the product that they want. You make it simpler for them to buy it. You incentivize them. You give them an EMI offer. You give them some deal. You give them some Diwali discount or some other crappy 40 on 20 discount or something. Give them something so that they feel they're getting the deal of their life, right? So let's see how to grab attention, because attention or awareness is one of the main things wherein you invite people into your funnel. Okay, a good brand to look at when it comes to attention is Apple, where it is forming a lot of it has caught the entire mindset of everyone to a good extent. Even though you might hate Apple, but you will look at what are they come up with in their new offering. Okay, I know Apple fanboys are there who look at the keynotes, like, and they start tweeting about it and all those things. And there are others who might not want to even, they are not part of the ecosystem, but they still want to see, has Apple done something new? So they would look at it. Now, this is the new iPad Air, and here what they are trying to show is, yes, it floats. Basically, what they are doing with this kind of an ad, they are trying to make you think about this. Okay, or the question which will pop in your mind is this actually in midair? That's the question which you will have, and they are affirming it in your face by saying, yes, it floats. And because they have affirmed your doubt, you will start paying attention to them. You'll be like, wow, how does that happen now? So the moment you do that, you might click on that ad, you will go to the website, you'll start seeing them, or else you will start doing YouTube research on, hey, what is this? Maybe you're someone like me who goes to Unbox Therapy, on YouTube, which is a tech channel, and they do unboxing of all the technology products. They give reviews and all those things. So you might want to hear what this guy has to say about Apple iPad. And the moment you do that, you are already into the funnel. Okay, this is another great example. Now, why I'm showing these ads is these ads are purely for awareness. If you see, there is no product information. If you see, there is no information about what's the price about this. They are just wanting to show you the beauty of this product. And how they are doing this, they are bombarding you at this in front of your street. So even if you look at in Mumbai, this campaign, which is shot on iPhone, is running successfully from 2015 till date. So every year when they come up with a new phone, they start doing a sub campaign which is known as shot on iPhone. And shot on iPhone is all the images which are shot by you can say actual users, and they are thrown across the city, they are thrown across the internet. So you will also see this on Google as you're surfing through various e-commerce websites or news websites or something. You might see this ad. Okay, this was a crazy thing which they did. Now look at the thought process which they have. This is apparently an ad in Dubai which was done for the new AirPods. Now, when the new AirPods were released, what they wanted to do is they wanted to give you an idea about it. but they didn't want to tell you what it is. They just wanted to make you excited for this. So what they've done is they have just gone ahead, taken around 30,000 images of dancers, okay, in various poses wearing the AirPods. And these have then translated into banners of this massive size. This is one of the biggest banners, I think, in Dubai. And they had to construct this banner especially for this ad. And if you see, there is no information over there except AirPods Pro. But when you see such a big banner over here on the road, it is going to get attention. Okay. This is something which Seth Godin says this is the purple cow. So Seth Godin is one of the greatest minds in marketing. Okay, he has published many books in marketing, and one of the books which he has early on published is known as the Purple Cow. The idea is simple. He's saying if you're going down the road in your car and you see cows, normal cows, you're just going to treat them as background. You're not going to pay attention to them. But as you're going in your car and suddenly your husband or wife, your girlfriend or boyfriend says, "Hey, look there, that's a purple cow." What will happen at that point is you will start paying attention over there and you will wait for it. You might photograph it. You might today put it up on Instagram. You might make a vlog out of it. You might do some crazy shit with it. You will not just let that moment go. And that exactly is how you get attention. Attention is not got by just talking about your product or service in a normal way. Okay, because everyone talks about it like that. What you have to really understand is, and this is totally based on, you can say you have to think about your brand as an overarching brand. You cannot think about it in isolation. Like the idea of this AirPods, you can say ad to use dancers. Why do they want to use dancers? Because dancers want to listen to, you can say, music, and dancers want to dance on the basis on the, you can say, based on the music. Now, what happens in airports is the number one thing which people started having a doubt when airports first released was, hey, if you run, if you do some major movement, it's going to fall off. So selecting dancers is a great choice because they are going to do massive amounts of movement, as you can see in this poster. But the AirPod is something which is still on him or her. And this is going to reinforce your major objection, which you might have had, which talks about, hey, the AirPod will just fall off, man. So this is something very, this is, I would say, this is science and art combined. It's not just about, a good image or a good photo, but this is thinking about what is the major objection which people have, what is the major doubt the people have, and then satisfying, or you can say, then actually reinforcing it's not going to happen. If a dancer wears it, then it's not going to do anything. It's not going to fall off. Look at the other ad which they came up with, and which is like one of the most craziest ads ever. So the main idea over here again is to show the fact that once you wear this, okay, AirPods when they came out right now, earlier they had an issue of noise cancellation. Here, what they are showing is the girl is walking in a very high traffic situation, okay, in the middle of the city in broad daylight, and at that point, the moment she switches on the AirPods, she's transported somewhere else. She's transported in a only she's only and only hearing her music, and she's doing this absurd movement. Okay, like it's absurd because it's such high movement, but still AirPods is not breaking that experience. Okay, so this is the idea. This is the way in which they are subliminally playing with your mind, and they are actually resolving your doubt which you might be having. Great ads are all about this. Okay, people will tell you storytelling, people will tell you a lot of these jargons, like it needs to tell a story, it needs to talk about the feature, the benefit. But the best way to show an ad is to convince someone. You need to ask what is their first primary objection going to be like. And if you can make a list of all the objections which people might have about that product, brand, or service, you will get a winner of an ad. Okay. So this is one very important point which we all need to understand. Okay. Now, this is happening in terms of awareness. Okay. I'll show you one more ad. So this was the video which we saw, again with active noise cancellation, because that was the number one feature which they wanted to promote at that point. And the feature is not being promoted by text. The feature is promoted by an experience. Okay. Then you might also see these kind of ads. I will come back to this. This is also an attention grabbing ad. Why this is an attention grabbing ad? This is during Black Friday. And during Black Friday, everyone wants offers, everyone wants deals. So they are saying, okay, iPhone, if you want to buy during Black Friday, this is going to be the price. Okay, so this is how. Now this is an ad which is not by Apple. Apple does not believe in this kind of marketing. Okay, but this is an ad by Jumaya, which is, I think, maybe a mall or something, which is doing this kind of a Black Friday ad. And this will be thrown off on social media, this will be thrown off on Google and all those things. So imagine if you have visited the Jumaya page earlier, you will be remarketed through this ad, and you will be shown, hey dude, iPhone 11 is on a sale, so purchase it. Now this is the kind of understanding which a person needs to have. Okay, when is this the right time to show the price? During Black Friday, you obviously want to show the price. Apple will not do this, but I am selling Apple products. I want to give the deal to my audience, so I might run a local ad on my own. Okay, this is again one. Now this is the other side of attention. Okay, so Burger King last year actually came out with this particular ad campaign, which is known as the Moldy Whopper. Basically what people say is, Burger King, McDonald's, and all these guys, they use artificial preservatives, because of which the burgers taste nice, and they do not go stale, and that's why they can use their products for a long time. They wanted to prove it otherwise, so they wanted to resolve an objection. So what they did is they actually spent 33 days. Okay, if you see day one, the burger looked like this, and day 35, the burger looked like this. So they actually showed that the burger is getting bad day wise, and so they are saying that it does not have artificial preservatives, and because of this, we don't use artificial preservatives. Now it's a I do not believe they do not use artificial preservatives. I guess everyone would be using artificial preservatives. But what they wanted to make a statement over here is, we removed 8,500 tons of artificial ingredients. Okay, that's like 38 statues of liberty per year, to hope it changes the fast food industry for good. It's a bold statement, but the problem with this ad, why I'm saying this is the other side of awareness, is key. This is an edible product. I want to eat my burger. Looking at this, I don't feel like eating my burger. So this is where, you might go to an extreme and you might just show something to shock people, which does not actually work for you. So people all over the world, like who are marketers or advertisers, they are not, they are on the fence with this ad. They're like, some people are like, "Hey, okay, this is a good approach." Others are like, dude, that's an edible burger, I don't feel like eating it anymore. Okay, you don't use preservative, but you just lost a buyer. So again, it's not the most ideal form of advertising. But still, when think about it, so attention comes only and only from these few things. You have to shock, surprise, scare. You have to be on the part of unexpected, because advertisements are supposed to grab attention, like grab people's attention, and it will only happen if you show them something which they are not used to seeing. Okay, once you show them that, then you get their attention, then you can start promoting other things. Okay, so let's look an example, take an example of, you can say, Spotify. Now Spotify is a new age, you can say, platform for music, podcasts, everything. It is a service. In US it was there from a long time. Okay, but in India it is currently on the rise. So what they want to show is, since the past, I think, 1.5 2 years, it's going on the rise. They are doing these kind of ads wherein they know their customer or their target audience is going to be the millennial and Gen Z generation. So the way they reach out to them is something as simple as this: Tinder match on the day of your breakup. There's a playlist for that. Okay, so the moment you're breaking up, but on Tinder there is a notification wherein it says, "Hey, you are matched." So similarly, dating a boy from the suburbs, there's a playlist for that. Now this particular ad is for South Bombay. Okay, so what they want to do is, this is a local ad which is now running, and this is the power of advertising. I can actually target areas where I want to show these ads to. I can target whether I want to show it to men or women. I can target whether I want to show it to people who are interested in fitness, or people who are interested in romance, fiction, all those things. And similarly, I want to showcase it to maybe someone only from South Bombay, so Kolaba and BT and all those areas, Worli and all. And there will be a different ad which will be something like this: when brands are love but Sarojini is big, and this might be shown in the suburbs. This is an ad which is going to be shown in Bandra. The whole idea with this is targeting your exact user. Okay, so again, this kind of plays out very well. And the whole thing over here is, they are not trying to just tell you, okay, this is not just a attention grabbing ad. This is also an ad which is little down the funnel, and this will be towards the information of it. Okay, this is towards considering whether you are maybe listening to music on Ghana or else YouTube or something. But what they want to show to you is, hey, you know what? If you're on Spotify, we have different playlists. If you are on the run, you can use Fun Run. If you want to listen to some Desi songs, you've got Desi Swag. If you want to use playing it cool. So this is for a user of Spotify, someone who already has an account, but they want to make them explore more features. Okay, so this is the way in which, we can actually start targeting people and start targeting, you can say, user personas in a very direct or an obvious way, right? Let's check out a few more examples, and here now we will see different examples than, you can say, just awareness. 1 second. So there's a way in which you can actually see all the ads. I don't know whether everyone over here knows of this, but if you go onto Facebook, and because of the Facebook ad policy, it is mandatory to keep your ads visible to everyone. So if you go to the Facebook page, let's say this is Swiggy, and you will see a section called page transparency. When you click on see all, you will be able to see all their ads which they are running. So right now, at this moment, Swiggy is running somewhere around 580 ads. And these are active and inactive. I just want to see active ads. Okay. And right now, if you see, you're seeing some regional ads also. So this is around the global diner, and it's Parota Party, Kerala's largest restaurant. And they're giving all this information. And the same information is there in Malayalam also. Now, this particular thing, I was noticing one more part. I'll show that to you. And it's always interesting to compare between two competitors. What are the ads that they are running? You might find some crazy similarities at times. And why this happens is people are looking at getting the same to the same customer base, or else in this case they're both promoting the same maybe restaurant, like this guy. If you see out here, the ad is the same. Now what they are doing is they are running ads for round the global diner. Okay, so the same creative is being run on Swiggy as well as Zomato, which is kind of interesting. So entirely same copy is coming here. Now I'll tell you what the problem with this is. So over here, what's happening is I'm seeing it on maybe I'm seeing it on Zomato, I'm seeing it on Swiggy, but I'm seeing the same creative. I'm seeing the same, you can say, communication. We need to understand not all of us use Swiggy and Zomato both. There might be people who will be hardcore Zomato loyalists, and there will be people who will be hardcore Swiggy loyalists, but there will also be people who will be using both. Now, what has happened over here is people are considering कि स्विगी एंड जोमेटो दो अलग लोग देखने वाले हैं, तो एक ही क्रिएटिव दिखाएंगे तो पता नहीं चलेगा या समथिंग, या फिर दे हैव नॉट इवन थॉट अबाउट दिस. The point is कि if we show this personalized to a Zomato user, it will be more impactful. Okay, but anyways, that's the next part. Let's see what different kinds of ads are being shown over here. So Swiggy is talking about right now, get 50% off on your first order. Okay, now this is the ad which they are trying to get a new customer. Okay, so if you see all of these ads, they are like welcome 50, welcome 50. So this is a story based ad. Okay, and this is a normal ad which is being used. Similarly, there are different kind of ads. So one might be used only on Insta story and Facebook story. The other might be used on your feed. So they also have a carousel and all those things. And what they're doing with the carousel also, if you see over here, the text is this, and this is the first image. And out here, the first image is safety channels, because we are during the time of COVID. Obviously, safety is one of the priorities. So, if you want to catch a customer who is thinking about safety, is it safe to order food from Swiggy or Zomato? Then they would be seeing these ads and they would be building their trust. So, it's like, oh, it's safe. And then they say you can get 50% off. So they're like, safe bhi hai, I'm getting an offer, let me try this. Then they are showing different varieties of it. What all things are they serving? And then finally Swiggy comes in over here. So if you see the way the creatives, now the same creatives are being used, they're just changing the image of the dish inside. So the idea over here is enjoy your favorite food on loop. So, which is their maybe campaign which they are working with. So, Welcome 50 is one campaign. The Loop campaign is one campaign. Work from home. People who are working from home, they are targeting them. So, for them, there is a different ad which is being used. Now, the whole idea over here, which we need to look at, is different categories of people, and we show different kinds of ads. Okay. Swiggy is also showing ads with, you can say, real food and illustrations. So is that a great idea? that is something which uh, we need to think about. See, humans don't want to. The purpose of an ad is making it simple for your audience to connect. How can you make it simple? By showing real people, by showing real food. If you show graphic, then no one buys it. I'll show you one more idea over here on this creator. So what's happening is over here, make your work from home less hectic with your favorite meals. Use code welcome 50, get 50% off on your first order. Anyone tell me what do they think about this ad? Let's review this ad together. So if you guys want, any one of you who would be interested, just let me know, and I would give you a chance to deconstruct this ad, because the best way to learn about these things is through actually analyzing it on a deeper level. Okay, so we need to deconstruct this. We need to understand whether this actually makes sense or no. So anyone who would be ready to contribute right now, just let me know. Let me know in the chat. It would really help because then we would start understanding it on a deeper level. See, it's not a one-way conversation wherein I would explain something and it would work. So Ikjot is, I think, ready. One second. Let me just turn on your mic. Mhm. Yeah, Ikjot, I think you can talk right now. TP says it's tough to connect with the image. Yeah, that's right. Ikjot, you can unmute yourself. So one of the things which TP says, I do agree. There is an illustration, and work from home. They are showing कि work from home makes you dull and all these things, and they are showing late night. But apart from this, what's happening is by seeing the late night thing, this image is not getting connected in a way. Like Vartika says, animated and one real, not possible to attract. Yeah, correct. Again, the same thing. Like using a real image and then an animated. Again, one more thing. If you guys think, so how our eye reads, our eyes are trained to read from left to right. Okay. That is one part of the story. Second is the space matters. Like what I mean by that is the there is a lot of white area over here. Okay, and that empty space is, it actually screams. White area is not something which makes your artwork minimal. Okay, it sometimes can actually scream a lot more. Now over here what's happening is I have written my text in white on a blue. Blue is a cool color. It has this you can say cool colors normally tend to go in the background, whereas warm colors would come out. Now over here we do not have a warm color except for this dish, but what's happening with the white is it is actually popping out more. Now the moment it pops out more, so here my attention does not go left to right like this. It goes, I am attracted here first. Okay, then I see the dish here, and I see this guy over here. So the flow of information, how it goes over here is I see the dish first, and then I see this guy, and then I start reading. So it is too much of understanding which is over here. So at this moment it's kind of difficult for us to kind of read what is happening out here, and that's where this image for me fails. Second thing is obviously the real image and the you can say animated image that works, but not here, because here what we want to show is the dish is the hero. In this whole work from home thing, what people are doing is they are trying to showcase an image of a person working, and he's working late at night. So I am actually thinking, is the person actually going to start is he really hungry at that point? Like, this is maybe 12:15 or something. And 12:15 ko, does he actually want to eat his dinner is a question which is on my mind. And if he wants to eat his dinner, he can just, like, why is he not happy about ordering from Swiggy? Why is he so dull? And they are writing the word binging on favorite dishes. Like, this guy does not look happy to me to binge on anything right now. So these are, some subtle ideas which we need to think about when we are creating ads, because when we think about ads, it needs to be very, very focused. Like, over here, widen your perspective while binging on your favorite dishes. By using a term like binging on your favorite dishes, it's not going to, help you. Like, does your copy actually support your image, or does your image actually support your copy? Like, I don't get that idea over here, because okay, she wants to eat pasta, but how is that going to expand her perspective? I kind of don't understand. So imagine if this would have been like, you've been working hard, you deserve great pasta, you know, you deserve uh, amazing, you deserve, like, working hard on your project, you deserve something great. Here's your favorite or something. Again, the copy needs to be way shorter than what even I am saying, but the idea is I need to support, think about, playing with these things rather than showing it like this. The second part which is happening is, by showing illustrated characters, I'm kind of breaking away from connection. Like, say for example, uh, let's go to another brand, let's say Byju's. Now, what Byju's is doing is they are teaching kids, you can say at home, they're teaching through their app and all those things. So, there are few ads which they want to run, and they want to run these ads to convince people on getting them hired. So, look at this. Now, join us as a product specialist, become a product specialist. Now, what I like about this over here is there are two women who are shown, and they are two women from two different regions. Okay. So if these ads are shown in a particular region, they will have a lot more impact. Like, if I see over here also, there's a live image of a teacher and a student. Now, the teacher is teaching, so it's very clear what they are trying to do. Okay. But at the same time, I have a different issue with this ad, which I will come to later, maybe. But the whole point is this, like, empower your child with the most personalized learning experience. And you show a child, you show this, you're reading the copy, you're seeing these guys, the yellow color of the t-shirt, it's all matching, it's in sync. It creates for a good ad. Again, one more idea which we need to think about, okay, when we are creating ads or when we are creating any kind of creatives, is what to place on the left, what to place on the right. Okay. Now, left is where we start from. Okay. And right is where we are going towards. So, in other words, it is left signifies the left area of a page. And this is true for your books also, or paintings also, like canvas and everything. Left side of your page actually is the past. Okay. And right side of your page is actually the future. So over here, by placing these, the mom and the child on the left and showing technology on the right is a great, it flows in that sense. Even the line of sight, if you see the way it is moving, you are going to see this particular thing over here. Okay. Similarly, empower your child. So you see it like this. You come over here and then you read this. Download now. So it's a great ad which makes for a cyclic kind of a, invisible circle which keeps you in this line of sight. So this is where the artist has actually, used negative space also creatively. Okay. They have used even the brand colors very nicely. The purple color is the color of Byju's, and that has been used nicely. Uh, One other thing which we see over here This is again showing, once again. Now, this is one of the main things, main concerns of a parent. कि बच्चे पढ़ नहीं रहे हैं. But here what they are saying is that particular objection, they are first of all saying कि you won't even realize why your kid will start, your kid will become studious or something. Now, that is the dream of every parent, and that is what they have made into an ad. So this is a crazy way of, showcasing an ad and actually trying to convince someone. So this is great stuff. Even these ads, if you look at, they are like placed in the, like they're using the space nicely, they are showing everything. Like left is what will happen, okay, it's the foundation, and right is what is going to happen next. Like this is, this is a message for you, and this is what you can expect out of this. So you can help your child, they are showing a child learn better, you're seeing video tutorials, which is what these guys are famous for, to score better with Byju's, and Byju's is himself in this particular image, and they have a CTA. Now you might say कि left पे download now rakha hai, but download now, which is this button in the creative, this is just for indication. You can click here also, you can click here also, and right side पे भी download आ गया. If the download now was placed on the right, imagine download now, download एक ही line में आ जाता. So creatively, the person has thought about these things. If you see in all the creatives, there is a reason behind this. Okay. Whereas if you see the ads which we were earlier seeing, like Swiggy, they were kind of not giving us that particular feeler. Okay. What Zomato does is Zomato is just putting in a very appealing image of a dish, text, simple offer, order safely on Zomato, install now. So these ads, this particular ad is the first ad which a person who is not a Zomato user will see. And why they will be attracted to this is desire है कि 50% off मुझे मिल जाएगा. So good ads. Again, I would just bring up that slide again in front, which is this. You need to get their attention. So by showing a beautiful dish, you have got their attention. You have made an offer 50% off. You are adding logic to it. You are saying it's going to be delivered safely. There's got to be a time limit. Now, these guys at this point, they don't want a time limit because this is a continuous ad which is going to happen. This is an evergreen ad. They are continuously going to offer discounts to get new users. What they want is installations. Here, the idea is not about getting the person into buying it from you, but it's just about installing. Once the person has installed that app and they have not bought it, then too they can be sent notifications, and notification marketing works like anything. So imagine आपने ad तो चलो देख के install कर लिया, but आपने खरीदा नहीं, ठीक है, but you're part of the funnel, and now I can share a notification to you whenever I want to. Okay, so are we, is this clear right now what I'm trying to say? How to look at these ads when you're creating it? You need to look at just few components which are there. The components which are there is, as we saw, you need to get their attention. So again, how do you get someone's attention? By the simplest route to that is by showing your product in a very easy way to understand, but that product needs to be in the universe of their objections. Okay, when the product is in the objection area and you can resolve their objection, okay, with some logic, then you have got a crazy ad. On top, put an offer. Okay, create a sense of urgency, and that's how you can do this. Frequency is all about, remarketing. If someone has seen, then that can happen in various ways. Like say for example, if you run a video ad, okay, Facebook as well as Instagram and all these you can say channels, they give you various ways to remarket. So if you have put up a video ad and you know people have seen at least 75% of your video, then you can show them some other ad. If you know someone has seen the video but they have seen only till 25%, imagine showing them an ad using remarketing, telling them, hey, I felt bad, yeah, you didn't see the whole video. If it is possible, please click this link and check out the whole video because I've got something special for you. Imagine that ad. So that what happens is your entire message of what you were trying to show them or build that, or else build the narrative in their mind, gets complete. So what happens with remarketing is you can build a lot of frequency in their heads. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see some more ads. Again, appealing images. These are the best kind of images which you can show. Check this out. Eat what makes you happy. Okay, missing food from your favorite restaurants. Get deliciousness delivered safely. This is all with regards to COVID. They are now trying to tell you, order from outside. It's safe and all those things. And they are trying to show you eat what makes you happy. Basically, let's see this. Simple 6-second ad. The only idea is to create some amount of want in your mind कि भाई पाव भाजी चाहिए या देखते हैं या पाव भाजी चाहिए and that is what everyone like the image of a pav bhaji with melting butter, that is something which is gone into all of our minds, right? So this is what. Second is a stack of burgers. So this is idea of a great campaign. A campaign will always have only one message. Okay, like अब की बार मोदी सरकार, फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार. That was the primary message. Now, how you then start, rolling out that message in different ways is where the creativity comes in, and where you start showing people different kinds of ad to move them to through that funnel which we saw. So the funnel which was, from awareness, like they are saying now get 50% off. If you're here, then they show you an ad about pav bhaji. Okay. If you see that particular ad of pav bhaji, they are trying to get you to, desire that pav bhaji. How they are putting you into action is you can get 50% off on that. So what they are doing in one ad is they are trying to push you from interest to action or desire to action. And ads are just supposed to do that. You can create ads from one part to shift a person from one part to another. Okay. Now this is where the whole title of our section is what? Create ads that drive ROI. Now, why am I saying ROI? Because ROI is measured when you push someone from, when you get an unknown person into your awareness funnel, that is ROI. When you get that person from awareness to interest, that is ROI. When you get them from interest to desire and desire to action. So at every stage, that means if there are, to make it simple, we'll just consider awareness. This entire section will be consideration and this will be action. Okay. Now, when you have a product, brand, or service, you need to think about how do I first make people aware about it? Okay. How do I make them consider? In consider, what happens is people are thinking about uh, this product is good, but does it solve that thing for me? Okay. Their service is good, but what about my existing agency? So people are considering some things. If you want people to consider your solution, you have to tell them how you're different. Okay. Once you communicate, okay, you might be considering all different kinds of solutions, but why you should consider me is because I give you this benefit. Okay. So let's see one, and this is done very nicely by Dunzo. Okay. Again, the examples which I'm giving are broad enough so that everyone knows about these things. It's not like, I am going very niche. The niche part was the Apple part, which I showed you, okay, how they are constructing their ads. Okay. One second. Okay. When we see Dunzo, the whole idea over here in terms of consideration, which I was talking to you guys about, you have a problem like you want to restock an item. Okay. It takes 29 minutes delivery of daily groceries. That's it. Like in within half an hour, okay, you get your groceries delivered to you. Now, what they are trying to tell you is great selection meets instant delivery. Imagine if you had to go out, if and the image is so brilliant, okay. Why is the image so brilliant? Because it's showing a housewife, okay, and the housewife is actually working on her, is actually cooking, okay, and that's the time when she needs something like grocery list. तभी नहीं बनता है जब आप किचन के बाहर हो. ग्रोसरी लिस्ट तब बनता है जब आप चीजें इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. So they are showing her in action, so that they are building the whole thing. Ki imagine if you are in the kitchen and suddenly an ingredient is lost or not there. So what will you do? So that's the time. So and they are showing ki if you had to then go out, so how much time will it take for you to dress up and all those things. So ये लोग ने उतना सोच के ये दिखा रहे हैं कि there is one woman who is cooking, there is this guy who is going out in times of COVID, and he is properly dressed as per standards, gloves पहने हैं, mask पहना है, and he's going to pick up. So two three things with dressing up is a pain. Okay. Going to the market during the times of COVID is scary for people, maybe. Okay. They will also have to wear a mask and all, and no one likes to wear the mask. And right now, people are being fined for it. So all these issues are there. Why are you even stepping out? We will deliver it right to your door. That is how this is the whole idea. Shashank has also made a very nice observation. He's saying past and future. So left to right. Like left में यहाँ से जो है grab कर रहे हैं, and जो है right side पे delivery हो रहा है, which is also great. Even this part, let's see this ad. So this is a very simple ad. Again, they're showing multitude of brands and everything. कि जो भी चीजें हैं, जो भी चीजें चाहिए, सब कुछ आपको मिलेगा. We will deliver it within 29 minutes. So this is where consideration में ये आ जाता है. A good ad, again, just reinforcing the fact so that you guys make sense of it. They are getting their attention with that 29 minutes. The offer is हम लोग ये सारी चीजें आपकी लाके घर पे दे देंगे. Logic, again, the way the ad was created, showing the housewife, showing this guy delivering in the COVID environment, and urgency यहाँ पे normally नहीं आई है. Urgency जो है वो 29 minute का जो बोला है, that is a value, like 30 minutes या pizza free. That's where you save time. So यहाँ पे ये लोगों ने 30 minutes को 29 minutes कर दिया. So एक urgency वैसे भी create की है. Urgency वो the auntie who is cooking, that is also creating an urgency. Like she's in the kitchen and she forgot. Like how many times it has happened ki your mom is in the kitchen and she's like, "Beta, ye leke aana." So they are showing a very relatable idea over there. And frequency, again, that is done through you can show the same ad or different versions of the same ad to same people again and again. This ad. Now, Danzo has this crazy style. Now, we would say यहाँ पे illustrations ये लोग use कर रहे हैं. But what they are using is, and this is where the difference is, they are using branded illustration. Dunzo has a particular uniform for their people. Dunzo has a particular caricature, and this is their brand mascot kind of a thing, which is continued in all their communication. So, yahan pe, if they're using it, it stands out. If Swiggy uses this kind of a illustration, suddenly it will be a shock. You'll be like, "Ki ye kya ho raha hai?" But here, what they're trying to say over here, and Dunzo has a crazy copywriting team, like arm se baam tak kuch bhi kabhi bhi. If you see their Insta page, you will be surprised with the kind of copy they write. It's one of the most friendliest brands out there who is talking about things in a very relatable way. Okay, so these are few things which I wanted you guys to understand in terms of ads, and the way ROI and all these things are going to be measured ads ka is very simple. Ads ke liye, you either have different things like how many downloads you want, so you will run download ads. You might want to show it to people so that to create awareness and all those things. So you need to, more than anything, from a creative perspective, you need to think about the environment more than what you're thinking about, like how Apple did it with this particular ad. There are tons of logic or tons of, it's a combination, as I said, of art and science. Like if you just see even this banner which has been created, they could have just gone ahead with a rectangle banner, but what they have done is they have curved the edges, they have chamfered the edges, and that is the iPhone ka shape. Okay, so subliminally वो iPhone का जो thought process है वो यहाँ पे उन्होंने डाल दिया है. Okay, so this is the beauty with which if you create ads, that is going to generate proper ROI for you guys. With this, more or less, I am done with my overall presentation. Okay, I would open up for question and answers, and that would really help others to understand. Trust me, no questions are off limits. Bindas pucho. I will be answering all of them live. So it would be really helpful for people to understand. First of all, if you have doubts, then ask me questions about what we spoke about. If you guys have any other questions in terms of maybe ads, ad copy, like Shashank has said, ad copy. And if you have doubts about ad copy, let's talk about that. But let's make it a more interactive session, hence going forward. So that would really help. Um, okay. Vartika is asking, what is OOH? One second. Okay, what is OOH? OOH is simple. OOH is out of home advertising. Okay, so what that literally means is all the things which you do in terms of hoardings which you see outside. Okay, if you're seeing hoardings on the road, if you're seeing events which are happening, so these kind of things which are happening, these are known as out of home advertising. They fit into that bracket. Okay, so that is OOH. Shashank has asked a very nice question: how to write good ad copy. Okay, now good ad copy is, it's a great question in a way, but it's a long answer. I will try to answer few things. So good ad copy is dependent on your understanding of frameworks. Okay. Um, the basic understanding which I can give you is your ad copy needs to be very relevant and very much it needs to answer what the person has in their mind. So it's a result of understanding your customer persona to the fullest. Now, when I say you need to write it based on framework, you need to understand ki, what kind of things are you trying to promote. Okay, so one of the first things is there are different kinds of frameworks when it comes to copywriting. One of the most famous ones is AIDA, AIDA. Okay, wherein what you do is, and it's same as the funnel which we saw. awareness, interest, desire, action. Okay, you could actually use this concept to actually build an ad. Okay, how you would do that? Let's see. Uh, Shashank, if you would be okay to jam, is it okay if I unmute you and we can talk about this? Because then this will go a lot more faster and I'll be able to help you even better. One second. Shashank. Yeah. So Shashank, you can talk right now and let's jam on this for a quick 5 minutes or something. Hello.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, Shashank. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Hi.
Hi. Yes. So, any particular thing like, can you please briefly introduce yourself? Like, what are you doing so that I can, help you accordingly?
So currently, I'm into digital project management, and previously I was into a product company. I'm currently in a service-based company, but I'm side by side try to learn something here and there that way. So in when I
Okay.
was basically in a product company, that time I used to write ad copies a little bit here and there, but I was not that much good at that. So I thought
Okay.
basically.
So, can you give me an example of what kind of ads, like what product or service were you trying to sell?
So basically, it was a I would say a broking business where
Okay.
I used to write SMS ad copies that way, and for a little bit of Facebook ad copies here and there.
Okay. So, when you say broking, this is stock market,
Stock
right?
market, yeah, stock market.
Okay. Now, in stock market, so see, there are a few fundamental things which always happen. Okay, which is um, you want to convince people to invest with you, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Now, when we want to convince people to invest with us, number one objection which people have about investments is, I don't understand this,
correct.
right? No one wants to take, you can say, a risk. So people think it is risky. This is also an objection which they have.
Yeah, people also think that it's a gamble or something that.
Okay,
Yes.
that's also a great objection.
But we had our segmentation based, we had divided them based on the segmentations. So
Okay,
basically, let's say if I just give you a rough example, so basically we had three categories of that.
okay,
People who were, let's say, wealth accumulator, people who were more interested in accumulating wealth, and they were uh, um, I would say traders who used to trade as well as used to basically invest in fixed instruments like FD and
right.
fixed deposit and NCDs like non-convertible debentures. And there were also people who were advanced traders like future and options who were used to basically do uh,
Okay,
everyday trade, intra-day trades that.
okay. And who are you? You were trying to communicate to all of these guys.
Yeah, depending upon their persona and which product we need to market that time.
Right.
So that way we used to basically communicate those things to the depending upon the persona.
Okay. So what was? Can you give me an example of if you were talking to a wealth accumulator? What's the kind of ad which you would roll out?
So basically, it was when we used to target to wealth accumulator, it was more about long term wealth. It was because they were like HNI kind of a people
Hmm.
who is high net worthy.
Right.
And so basically, we used to tell them about long term benefits that way. In try to and most probably they so basically in when we are talking to these kind of HNI people, it was more of a RM centric, relationship manager centric communication to them. But
Right.
initially, we used to send them SMSs about the new product launches or something like that.
Yeah, because see, for these guys who understand the product, right? Who understand what you are trying to deliver and how you are trying to help them. You can just do one kind of ad, which is show maybe a case study or show maybe some kind of a result which you have got from a customer. So these guys would come to you uh, based on a factor which is more than just you can say trust, which is understanding okay, these guys are there in the market from so many years because they know the market. So they would want to work with you if you can add something more than they are understanding, right?
Correct.
So yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we used to, as you said, we used to present them case studies and also tell them other investment, how exactly they can grow in a long term perspective.
Right,
Means
and that's a big conversation to have. But in the ad sense, if you want to show them an ad is supposed to be a smaller thing which catches their attention. It would be more on the lines of, I would say, if you can show so many people invested with you guys and this is the kind of benefit that they have gotten over a period of time. So in real estate, what they show is real estate may one of the things, one line which they show is over 10 lakh square feet developed, you know. So if you can say कि you guys are handling money of this amount or this you can say this big number is what you are handling, that would give them a lot more trust in your brand. Second part is who are the other HNIs that you're working with, and if you can showcase them as a testimony, those are the kind of ads which would really work in this regard. So these will be now. यहाँ पे कैसा है कि कॉपी से ज्यादा क्या होगा कि आपको थोड़ा लॉन्ग फॉर्मेट में वो डालना पड़ेगा. So it can be a 1 minute or something which can be showcased to them. So and how it needs to be structured is your ad flow. If I was to think about, you would show a static ad, okay, a static ad showing an HNI or a similar caliber of a person, okay, and them showing them with their profits or showing them satisfied. So this is something which you will have to show. This will be a static ad, and in turn, you will also maybe if you can do a video ad with them, so which is like a testimonial, that would really help. And for these guys, one of the main things which is there ना, see, जिनको पैसे की जरूरत नहीं होती है ना, उनका सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम लाइफ में टाइम है. So if you can show ki how you guys can get them the best return on investment, that would really work for them. And if you can showcase to them ki this is how they can save time, this will really help them understand you better. So comparisons with other, you can say market players, that is also an other kind of ad which can be done. So comparing yourself with your competitors. So वो थोड़ा इंडिया में many people stay away from it, but that is something which can be done on the digital front in a nice way. But that is something which can really help you guys showcase yourself. Copy से ज़्यादा मुझे यहाँ पे the way you will present this whole equation ना as a trust building equation, वो यहाँ पे important है. Copy के लिए
more than copy, it's more about the value which we are basically trying to portray.
Correct. And copy has to be in a way like if you want to build trust, I will show you a framework to build trust. The framework to build trust is going to be problem, okay, agitate, solve. So problem, agitate, solve is a very simple framework. जहाँ पे problem is the problem which they have is maybe they don't have time. Okay. Now, time for what? Time to spend with, let's say, family. Time to spend with yourself. like mindfulness. Like these are bigger aspirations than the actual hustle for money which is done. Okay. And lastly, you have to show how you will solve them. So investors with your company have reportedly, now this is something which you will have to check, reportedly saved X number of hours, okay, and invested those with their family. Now, obviously, I'm writing a very big sentence, but basically the idea which I want to showcase is investors, like people who have invested with your company, have saved X amount of time and have spent it how they wanted. So
Yeah.
this gives them a sense of power. This gives them a sense of okay, this is the value which I am getting. And that's why it is very important, because see, convincing someone who knows already what the trade is all about will only and only come basis of value. So if you can, so it's like if imagine I cannot show a middle class person an ad of Mercedes and expect them to buy it.
Yeah.
So सिमिलरली जो बंदा मर्सिडीज खरीद रहा है मैं उसको माइलेज की बात नहीं करूंगा, तो मुझे उसको ये मुद्दा बताना पड़ेगा कि भाई टाइम जो है वो कैसे स्पेंड करना है, एंड देयर माइट बी अदर बेनिफिट्स और पर्क्स व्हिच you guys can be giving, so that the last part which you can do an addition on this is there is an outcome. ओके, सो प्रॉब्लम है, एजिटेट है, आप सॉल्व कर रहे हो, बट जो सॉल्व कर रहे हो उसके बाद आउटकम क्या था, so you show an image of a happy, you can say family or something like that. Or else if you know कि few people are very individualistic and they love their own time or something, so you show them abroad traveling or chilling in a cruise or something like that. Those will be the kind of images or videos that will help you showcase your brand in the right way. So this is a way in which you can think about these, you can say the framework to think about this ad would be problem, agitate, solve. And on top, if you can add an outcome, that would really help it. Right?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for it.
Thanks.
Guys, anyone else with any other questions in terms of how exactly do you think, ads can be created or thought about? The one thing which I would like to add here is, static image versus video, what to use. Now, image versus video, you need to use a mix of both, but you need to understand when do you use what. Videos are very good for awareness, okay, because in awareness what you want to do is you want to talk to the people a lot more than during the other stages. Okay, so awareness ke time pe you're going very broad and you're targeting a huge segment of people, so you want to showcase something in a lot more detailed fashion, and that's where videos play a very important role. The second part, when they come to decision and all these other things, that time images would work better. Okay, so it's a balance between both of them, but you need to use all of these things. And it's not about कि video आपको बहुत polished video ही दिखाना पड़ेगा या something like that. Realistic video works wonders, especially in case of if you're a home baker, or if you're thinking about if you're someone who is into architecture and you are trying to generate leads for your architectural business. So even videos which are taken from your phone will work amazingly better. Remarketing may, if you want to catch attention of people, that time also videos can do a lot more if you understand and map out the entire journey of your audience. Okay, so this is something which will really help you guys in that case. One second. Right. So, any other questions? Okay. If not, then I would like to understand from you guys if you found this session valuable. Okay. If you learned something out of this session, then what I would like you guys to do is from rate this session from 1 to 5. Okay, 5 is where you learned some things which you were not thinking about, and you learned something. And one is wherein you didn't learn much. So if you please rate this session so that I understand whether I'm going on the right track or else there is some things which need to change. And if you are rating it low, then you need to tell me why exactly, like what can I do to improve this session. So please, if you have stuck around for so long, please give this session a rating so that I can improve this further. Okay, please use your keyboard 1 to 5 के बीच में. 5 is a great rating. 1 is कि मजा नहीं आया. Thank you guys. I am liking this. People are saying 5. I'm loving this rating. I'm working on a few things which are, which will take this to the next level. So guys, with this we are at the end of our session. I just want to tell you 2 3 things. If you guys have any doubts or any questions or anything at any point of time with regards to digital marketing, feel free to connect with me at Jaljeet Ajani on Instagram. Jeet at synclarity.in, that's my email ID. And you can also connect with me on LinkedIn, that is by using Jaljeet Ajani. Okay. I would love for adding value to your lives in terms of digital marketing. So please connect with me at these places. Every Saturday is when we do this kind of a session. This is marketing. If you really like the session, please feel free to ask your friends and family, whoever you feel will find value in this. Okay, so that next time if we are doing a session, we are doing this session every Saturday. So the next session you will come to know of this. Next Saturday, again, we will be catching up either 11 or 3 p.m. So, with that said, guys, thanks a lot for attending another episode of This is Marketing. Stay in touch. Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.